Welcome, my dear guys and gals, to the discussion of how the AMR anti-material rifle is an underrated stratagem weapon in Helldivers 2. This is your host, Leakamish, and let's get started with the discussion. Here we are, back at it again with Helldivers 2. Now, this game needs no new introductions. It's been out for almost a year now, and it's essentially still the same game. You pick a planet, pick an operation, liberate, spread righteous democracy, rinse and repeat. But due to it being out for almost a year now, it has added plenty of new ways for us to decimate our enemies. For example, weapon stratagems. And out of all the weapon stratagems, there's one that doesn't really get talked about all that often. And that is the AMR, anti-material rifle. Now, this weapon is hands down amazing against bots, and it feels like it's very underrated. But of course, in order for me to talk about all that, we have to first go over what is the AMR, and also, what is its stats? Now, the anti-material rifle stats can get a little complex considering this is Helldivers. But to keep things simple, I'll try to simplify things as much as I can for you all. The anti-material rifle is semi-action that can be sighted to 50, 100 to 200 meters. It has an RPM of 400. It has a cooldown time of 480 seconds, although with all upgrades you can knock that down to 410.4 seconds. It has a call-in time of 3 seconds, a capacity of 7+1, a reload time of 2.7 seconds, a tactical reload of 1.3 seconds, which means you still have rounds left in the gun. You have a spare magazines of 6. Your starting magazines will be 4, your mags from supply will be 3, and your mags from collecting an ammo box off the ground will be 1. Now, I will say, when it comes to starting magazines and mags from supply, those eventually stop mattering, because once you do get upgrades, you'll start off with your full amount of spare magazines, and you'll get a full refill from resupply pods. And now we have the projectile, and I'm not even going to try to explain to you what half of this stuff means. All you need to know is that it affects how the gun feels when you're aiming it and handling it. So the 12.5 millimeter projectile has a damage of 450 standard, and it also has a damage of 180 durable. Now, what durable damage is, I'll give you a quick rundown on it. Durable damage is essentially a damage reduction effect placed on certain parts of the enemy that protects its main health. How it essentially works is that if the enemy part has a durability value of 0, it'll take the full damage, which is the full 450. If it has a durability value of 100%, then that part will only take the durable damage, which is 180. If the enemy has a durability value of 50%, it'll take 50% from the standard damage and the durable damage. So hopefully I give you guys a quick synopsis of how that works. We then get into the rifle and cartridge penetration. Now, the anti-material rifle is a level 4 penetrating weapon, which means it has heavy penetration. The penetration values do go up all the way to 9, but most of that relates to buildings. When it comes to enemies, the most the enemies get is usually a 5, which is anti-tank. So it's right below anti-tank being at 4 heavy. It will keep this penetration value all the way until you hit an extreme angle, but that shouldn't come into play as much as you think it would, because extreme angles only take in 81 to 90 degree range. To end off, it does have special effects, which is a demolition force of 20, a stagger force of 25, and a push force of 25 as well. When it comes to demo force, that is destroying objects, so since it has a demo force of 20, the best it can usually do is blow open those shipping containers you see around the map. And also supposedly the illegal broadcast tower as well. The stagger force and the push force relates to how much you stagger an enemy and how far you push them back. Now that we're done talking about the AMR stats, we can now talk about what weapon would be compared with it. And that weapon would be the autocannon. Now, the autocannon and AMR, they are very similar in the way that they function and the way that they work. But you look at the autocannon and you see that this is a bigger gun and it looks like it just straight up would outclass the anti-material rifle in every single shape, way, and form. So how could the anti-material rifle even compare? Let's go over what does the anti-material rifle have over the autocannon. So there's 3 things that the anti-material rifle does better than the autocannon. And number 1, everyone should know very well if you're an autocannon user, and that is its reload. And for those who do not know, the autocannon has a stationary reload, which means you crouch down and you reload a clip into the autocannon to get ready to fire. Except if you mess up, you have to go through an extended reload, which means that instead of just putting in 1 clip, you have to crouch down, put in 1 clip, do a little cocking, and then put another clip, and then you're ready to fire, which can be very punishing because there are plenty of things that can easily shred you or run up on you while you're crouched down trying to get this done. Let's not forget that the enemies have rockets, which can easily knock you back and knock you out of this animation. That's where the AMR comes in. The AMR has a normal weapon reload, just like any other rifle, sniper rifle in the game. It has a type of reload where you just empty the mag, slap it in, cock it, and you're ready. No crouching down, no staying stationary. You can do it while sliding, moving, doing whatever. And number 2, speaking of ammo, where is the ammo stored on for autocannon? That would be your back, of course. The autocannon gives you a backpack that you strap onto your back, and that's where you take these clips to put into the autocannon. Now, that might be a bit of a problem because there are a lot of very popular backpack stratagems out there. For example, the drones, right? The drone backpacks, the personal shield, the ballistic shield. Especially those 2 shields are one of the most popular ones because nothing sucks more against the bots than getting bot back shots because you're trying to run away and they're constantly shooting in the back, causing you to get staggered. That extra protection is really, really good. That's where the AMR, again, comes in. It just takes a shoulder slot, which means you can carry whatever back stratagem that you want. And number 3, optical zoom. The autocannon just has a normal traditional zoom. It doesn't have an enhanced zoom like the AMR. The AMR, after all, is a sniper rifle, so you get that sniper rifle scope. And being able to zoom in means you'll be able to more accurately place down shots on targets that would be a lot harder on the autocannon, especially since they get a little bit blurry between the crosshair and the enemy you're firing at. And then not only that, but at longer distances, you'll be able to be more accurate in take out a threat from a longer distance that you can't really do with the autocannon unless you are really, really good with the weapon. But that is the 3 things that the AMR does well and better than the autocannon. But now, let's talk about how does the anti-material rifle fare against the various of enemies that you'll face. When it comes to the AA guns or the artillery guns for the side objectives for the bots, you could take them out in 4 shots with the AMR. Now the fun thing is that you do not need to hit the vent, you could just hit anywhere on these turrets and you'll be able to easily take them out for your team. Same with the bunker guns for the bunker objective or the mega base, they could also be taken out in 4 shots. Now for the big cannon turret, it'll take 5 shots instead of 4. So make sure you keep that in mind. And you can only shoot it through the vent. Now we're moving on to the medium armored support like vehicles. And first of all are those gunships. 2 shots to the engines will easily take them out. Now I haven't tested how many body shots they take just because it's just way easier to shoot the engines to take them out. Next up are Scout Striders, which this rifle melts through like butter. All you gotta do is shoot them in the, well, the crotch area or their legs, and they go down easily in 1 shot. We're now moving on to those heavy units. The Hulks, they are always a 2-shot to the head. Do not try to give them back shots though. They will thoroughly mess you up. It is just way more efficient just to go for headshots, well, because of this. Yeah, just shoot him in the head. Next up, you have your normal standard tank. It's basically a cannon turret that moves. 5 shots to the back, you can easily take it out. Here we go. Take one of the tank variants. I call it the AA tank, or the anti-personnel tank. It's the one with the 4, machine gun cannons that'll shred through you like you're nothing. And this tank isn't easy to take out with the sniper rifle, I will not lie. Can you potentially take out the ports on the back of it? Yes. But would you be able to do it before it turns around and starts blasting you? Probably not. So a lot of the times when I use that temperature rifle against this thing, I literally have to do something like this. Kiting it and trying to shoot the back of it while it's trying to live the enemy assault. Yes, it took me this long to take this thing out. Just use a stratagem. I got it! Final tank variant. You are in range of the enemy artillery tank. 5 shots, and you can easily take it out. Yeah. The massive behemoth. The Factory Strider. Otherwise known as the Mecha Doggo or AT-AT. This thing can very easily kill any unprepared Helldiver. But how does our little anti-material rifle compare to something as big as this? Well, I'm going to cut to the chase. It's not great. Now, I'm going to defer to this chart right here. What's color-coded in yellow is a protected weak spot, which is stuff that the rifle cannot penetrate through, and that is more for your anti-tank weapons, dedicated anti-tank. While the primary weak spot, that is stuff that the rifle can damage, right? So it's eye, rear vent, belly, any of its vents, its neck, its guns. Now, how to fight this dog? You have to fight it in a very specific way. First of all, don't try to take it out the cannon. The big cannon on its back, you're not going to beat it with that artillery rifle. What you need to do is you need to take out its 2 guns, right? And run under it and shoot under its belly, right? Give it a little belly rub. Now, the issue with that is how much ammo it costs. Because first of all, to take out those 2 guns, that will shred you in half. That requires 2 rounds each. So that's 4 rounds of your anti-material rifle. And to destroy its belly, that'll take a staggering 14 shots. 2 whole magazines to destroy the dog. Which is why, personally, fighting the dog isn't really your job. The best you could do is mainly shoot out those little guns and probably have someone with a more dedicated stratagem or anti-tank weapon to properly take this thing out. But if you are not contested by a whole bunch of bots and the dog is all by itself, then you can go ahead and try to take it out. It's possible, just not effective as using a rocket launcher, for example. Now, before I talk about anything else, I first have to talk about the autocannon because it would be disingenuous to toss saying all these praises of the AMR, but not talk about the praises of the autocannon that has over the AMR. So, number 1. What the autocannon lacks in reload, it more than compensates in terms of ammo. For example, you could hold 10 rounds in your gun compared to the 5 of the anti-material rifle. And not only that, but you will have 10 spare clips, each holding 5 rounds. And that just completely trumps the total ammo that the AMR has. Number 2, durable damage. So the autocannon does more durable damage, which means it does more damage to armored units, which is usually what you are running these type of weapons for. Not only that, but it also has that benefit of being able to take out fabricators, which is really, really huge, and unfortunately, the AMR straight up cannot do that. And number 3, when it comes to the AMR excelling at far away aiming, at close up, it could be not as good because you do not get a reticle for hip fire. For the autocannon you do, for the AMR you don't. So unless you are just really good at hip fire like me, or you really believe in your aim with your scope, close-up fights might be a bit difficult for you. But now that I've seen the praises of the autocannon, let's go ahead and close out this video. And there you have it. That is why the AMR, anti-material rifle, is an underrated stratagem in the game. And I hope I encourage you all to give it a shot. I sure enjoyed it, and I think you all will too. I'm not done with Helldivers 2. It's still one of my favorite games, and I have more things to talk about than just smokes and sniper rifles. So I think what's next might be the crossbow. But as I always say, This has been your host, Leakamish, opening the discussion to the comments below. Taking a rest, being a legend clearing out bots with the AMR, saying farewell to you all.